Welcome back, guys. The next topic we're going to go over is insufficient funds and invalid accounts. Now, I've alluded to this a few times that we've gone over, and the most important thing to do is always to see the banking information before you actually put the information into the application. We want to make sure that, number one, we're doing things right the first time and we have a valid account that you saw. Not that you heard, but that you saw. Now, we just went over a topic, telechecks. Now, I want you guys to understand, like I said in the previous video, telechecks does not necessarily guarantee, if it gets approved, that you have a good bank. It also, if you get rejected by telechecks, doesn't prove that you have a bad bank. All it does is it's on the client. Does this client have good banking history? That's what telechecks looks at. So whenever we submit a deal for you, you want to make sure that the client knows a couple things. Like I already said, number one, to avoid invalid accounts, if you see the account, 99.999% of the time, you're getting a bank account that is an active, good account where we can draft the money from every single month for the life of the policy. That's always and forever number one. And I'm going to harp on that. Make sure you see the account. That's number one. So that will avoid you writing deals that come back invalid account. Now, another thing that can happen is obviously we're dealing with regular people who on the week have different things come out of their account here or there, spending money. So insufficient funds. One of the most important things that you need to make clear to the client is that the amount of money that you're going to be drafting for your policy is going to come out in the next 1 to 5 business days. Make sure that they understand it might not come out tomorrow, but it could very most likely come out tomorrow. So over the next 1 to 5 days, Joe and Mary, your draft for the $113.47 is going to come out of your account. Is that money in there today? Perfect. If it's not, you need to make sure, when do they get paid next? Do they get paid next Monday? Do they get paid next Wednesday? Do they get paid next Thursday? Do you need to put, as we discussed before in the sales notes, once you send the deal online to your online portal, the agent workspace, do we need to hold that deal until next Thursday or next Friday when they get paid again? So make sure that you and the client are on the same page for the actual account information, when the first draft is going to come out, so that you can avoid having something come out back as an invalid or an insufficient funds. Now, in the case where something does get returned, what the company is going to do, they are going to give you what's called a deferred chargeback. So if you got paid $500 up front before we even knew if it drafted and it came back as an insufficient or invalid account, the company is going to zero out your pay for that one specific deal because we've never received a good draft for the policy. So basically, they're not going to take away your pay. They're just going to zero it out because they never got paid. Now, the cool thing about this is it's a deferred chargeback. So it's not going to hit your paycheck for another 2 weeks. Now, that gives you 2 weeks to fix the deal with the client. It's very important that if you on a Friday or Thursday, when advance reports come out, you make sure that anyone that came insufficient funds or invalid account, that is the first person you call to figure out why and to fix it right away. Because if something comes back insufficient funds, the company will automatically redraft it to see if the policy will go through for that premium another time. So over the next 7 to 10 days, the client's going to get automatically drafted anyways for an insufficient funds. So if you're not getting back in touch with the client, you're doing the wrong thing, not only for the client, but for your paycheck. Let's make sure that we set up a policy for life. Don't write in bad banking information, and make sure the client knows what's going to come out, when it's going to come out, and you put in the sales notes to reflect that so we send it through properly. Later.